What's up, spectators? Welcome back to an episode of Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Last time, we got Espella off free, and they burned Kira like they do all witches, but before that, Kira accused Espella of being the great witch Bazella. I mean, their names are kind of similar, Espella, Bazella, but anyways, let's see what we're doing. All right. You all came to my rescue yet again. Well, yeah, of course we did. Hold on a sec, Espella. What did you say just now? You all came to my rescue yet again. You don't mean... Yes, I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose that makes this the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me. Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and Espella have met before? Ah, yeah, it seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton? Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired. Okay, what should we discuss? Espella paid us a visit in London. She had in her possession a letter from an old acquaintance of mine. Is that right? Mr. Accidenti helped drive Espella straight out of Labyrinthia. You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me. Wait, did you say witches? So they appeared in London too? Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. When we saw you last, it seemed you'd managed to escape, courtesy of that passing freighter. Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you after that, Espella? I rode the ship along the river for a while, before arriving at a nearby port. And then... that's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya. Okay, what should we discuss? What happened on the ship? I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there. Please accept my sincerest apologies. I'm afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it. No, please don't blame yourself, Mr. Layton. I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for something, anything on the ship that might help me. Boy, you sure found something, all right! It's a weird thing to say, Maya. Or rather, someone. You ran to a master thief working as part of the ship's crew. Yes, that's right. Did you say master thief? Crikey! I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing. After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me. I see. Then perhaps, somewhere deep within your mind must have existed a memory of that previous trial and of Mr. Wright. Hence why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening. That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history that day in jolly old England. Did you say made history? Wow! I wouldn't exactly say I made history. But then, after that, I was never able to find my way back to the professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding that clue, it ended up being taken away from me. A clue, you say? Yes. The tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy. That tag was a clue. Stop speaking in questions. The stuffed toys tag. That's a fun thing to say. The stuffed toys tag. I had a lot of time to think while I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things. Like how to try and find a way back once the ship arrived at its destination. Things like that. A way back to Mr. Layton and Luke. They were the only ones I knew I could depend on to help me. The pleasure was ours, Espella. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived. You mean London, Espella? Oh, that's it. London. That's what was written in Carmine's letter to Mr. Layton. The blue teddy bear I found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck. Sorry, Espella, but PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear. On the tag, in very small letters, was written, London. I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be an address. That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion. run by the London Metropolitan Police. Oh, that's right! Espella, you must have known that address was super important, so that's why you kept the tag, right? That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again. I just felt so lonely and helpless. I wonder though, who do you think really did it? Hit Olivia over the head with a pipe, I mean. What's this? Oh yeah, I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was. I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches. What? You mean the witches that were chasing us through London? Indeed. It could be that they noticed your escape onto that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way aboard. Could it be? So, you're saying there was some big scary witch lurking around the inside of that cargo hold. I'm afraid there is a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia, no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture. Ah, in other words, the situation with Miss Al Dente, you mean? Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious. I hate that word. Unconscious. It's just unconscious. Unconscious. I don't like saying it, because I don't like it. No. And attempted to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, given that you ended up in court regardless. And that's when she became my client. Damn, this has already been a 7-minute recap. I just can't clearly remember anything that happened back then. Do you think there's a possibility that someone was pulling Espella's strings through the entire trial? Maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about Espella at the time. Espella was introduced to you at the time as a schoolgirl, is that correct? Yes. She would have had no knowledge of the world outside of Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she would pose a serious problem. Meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Espella's identity. But Professor, could someone really do that? That they could indeed, Luke. And if it is I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought. Just exactly who or what are we dealing with here? A conspiracy, straight to the top, the Prime Minister. Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us with one heck of a pastry feast. Oh. Actually, I can't go home just yet. Huh? You can't? Oh! Well, there are still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go on ahead without me. Is that so? Very well. I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything. Alrighty then, Espella. We'll catch you later. Yes. Farewell for now. Never to be seen again. Mr. Wright, please allow me the pleasure of a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton. I am a professor of archaeology in London. Professor? Huh? Well, my name is Phoenix Wright. I'm an attorney. As I suspected, you were no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright. I thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe I'd been a baker all my life. But the more everyone kept saying it, the less sure I was that it was actually true. Just where did that memory come from, anyway? Hey, Professor! If Mr. Wright is an attorney, that must mean he's as smart as you! Haha, I'm afraid I can't really say, Luke. Behind every ace attorney, there's an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant. That's all you'll ever be. I think you also forgot humble. My name's Luke Triton! I'm the professor's apprentice! I'm Maya Fey, and Nick here is my apprentice. Isn't that right? Nicky boy. Why am I your apprentice? Anyway, we should all head back to the bakery. Let's get a move on. I'm sure Espella will be back before we know it. I can't believe I've given Luke that voice for so long. That kind of consistency is not frequent when I do these videos. Beside, like, let me think, LaBelle and Ace Attorney. Actually, I guess there are quite a few. There's a handful of voices I'll keep consistent throughout the series, if it's easy to maintain. I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. Inquisitor Bonham! Most impressive work tonight. 'Tis a shame you have kept such ability hidden until now. Trust me, Nick's lawyer abilities beat the pants off of his baking abilities any day of the week. Yes, I'm sure he beats your pants off all the time. Okay, moving on. What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't Espella go home? New charges have been brought against Miss Espella Cantabella. What? No way! That can't be right. Now you have realized that, haven't you? She is being charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Bazella. She what? How can that be? Am I to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation? It was not I who made the decision. Regardless, the girl will return to court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I am to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. So, you have the accuser, and then you burn her. And then you pursue the accusation when the accuser is dead. Okay. All right. Pardon me, Inquisitor, when exactly is this appointed time? Right now. Tomorrow. Tomorrow at midnight. Tomorrow at dawn. I was gonna say dawnbreak. At the break of dawn. The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. That's way more fun. Anytime that anything ends with an ADE, just say odd. Like charade. Except that's probably the actual correct pronunciation, despite everyone saying charade. Charade is way more fun to say. That would be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed. What the? It would appear that the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you all. Espella Cantabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. That means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately. Espella, the legendary Great Witch Bazella. The story that dictates the fate of an entire town, and now a so-called Great Witch named Bazella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries. But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we going to find any evidence? You know, I was thinking. How do you address a Great Witch? Hail to thee, O magnificent magical one. Or maybe just, what's up, witch baby? Witchy baby? What difference would it make? She's called a Great Witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet. I believe I've thought of a solution to our problem. It's actually rather simple. Allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces. We've come this far, there's no way we're just gonna give up, on Espella. I'm on board. I look forward to teaming up with you, Professor. Me too, Maya! It's getting worse. Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story, one dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands. To be continued. Okay, yes. Go on. Oh, you want me to save? Oh. Not a lot of credibility. Yeah, we broke the 1,000! Boo! We are almost... Are we 10 hours in? Ooh, we are 10 hours in. And this is, what, a 20-hour game? We're halfway through? Doesn't feel like it. I feel like there's a lot more left. What chapter is this? 3? Chapter 3. The Grey Ho-Ha. Boop, boop, boop. The Great Witch Espella, the legendary witch from ancient times. She is the source of all evil and the one who gives rise to all other witches. As long as the Great Witch Espella is alive, there will always be witches in Labyrinthia. Apparently, that is the commonly held belief. Therefore, if Espella were to be put to the fire, there would be no further need for these trials. In other words, no Espella, no witches, right? But how does that all implicate Espella? By the way, Professor, you seem to know a lot about all this.
The Professor and I discovered a mural of the Great Witch Espella in a room below the library. And it looked like it was painted a long time ago, that's for sure.
You mean like a wall painting of Espella? Indeed, there were some historical remains hidden beneath the library. We found it there. At any rate, I'd very much like to investigate Espella in greater detail. I'm afraid my knowledge extends no further than the legend known to the townspeople. In that case, I guess we have no choice but to ask Espella. Maybe she can tell us why she's accused of being Espella. Bezpella. Yeah. Well, yeah, but didn't they tell us we can't see her for a while? Come on, we've never let that stop us before. And that, Maya, is how we always end up in all sorts of trouble. Well, fine. Just leave it to me. It's nothing that a little sweet talking can't fix. Ooh, gonna seduce your way to her? Past the guards? Maya, I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Hey!
Look, pal! We need to see Espella. It's a matter of life and death. I'm not sure I would qualify that as sweet talk, but rather more of a full-on assault. Did you not hear what Inquisitor Bottom said? Espella Cantabella is currently undergoing questioning. And while that's... Oh.
Can't you do something?
Hey! Shut the f... Will you? Orders are orders. No matter how many times you ask, the answer will still be no. Now be on your way, will you? Shoot! Access denied. That much is obvious, Maya.
I can't believe Mr. Bottom took Espella into custody just because of that outburst!
That reminds me, something Inquisitor Bottom said that has been bothering me. It was not I who made the decision. I believe that's how he put it. Ah, yeah, that's right. So, in other words, there's someone of higher authority than Inquisitor Bottom. That's it. We'll just go ask that person instead.
But who in Labyrinthia could have more authority than I be?
Well, I know how to find out. Let's ask around, Luke. Not you again. You don't give up, do you? Like I said before, you cannot see. It's not Espella. There's someone else we'd like to see.
That's right! We'd like you to take on straight by Red Mountain Bottom!
Above Inquisitor Bottom. You're not telling me that you want to see the High Inquisitor.
So they're called the High Inquisitor, then?
What's this? Are you seriously suggesting that you don't even know of High Inquisitor Darklaw? HID? That's weird. I can't help but feel I've heard that name somewhere before. I'm sorry, but could you tell us where we can find that person? Please, do me a favor and don't ask. She's not the sort of person you can just drop in and see. Believe me.
But there's something of importance we want to discuss.
You people really are fearless. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. To meet High Inquisitor Darklaw, you must go to the Inquisitor's Hall. And it's been almost 20 minutes, so I'm gonna end this video here. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!